Welcome to today's session. This lecture explores a fascinating concept in political science, viewing energy not just as a fuel or a physical resource, but as a social construct. By looking at the history of Algeria, we can see how energy shapes national identity, power, and the relationship between a government and its people. So we've seen during in-person lecture a text dealing with energy as a social construct. And the case chosen was Algeria. The first thing we have to start with is the definition of social construct. When we say energy, obviously, as a social construct, we we should not think of energy as being an object, a technical reality, but also something that transcends oil and gas to the meaning that we give to these resources. That is to say, social construct is the value and the meaning created by people to these resources. Well, to get a better understanding of this concept, we have to look at 2 points. First, societal choices. Second, beyond physics. And third, control and power. Well, social construct has a lot to do with societal choices. That is to say, communities decide um, which energy sources is in energy sources are important and how they should be used. The second point um, is is again transcending the fact of energy as being just something related to physics, something that goes beyond it, goes to reach um, politics and cultural meanings. The third point here is control and power. Society here determines who gets to control these resources and what they represent for the nation's future. So, in a nutshell, social construct deals with um, matters related to societal choices, to matters related to the meaning given by the different cultures, and um, and also a reference to control and power. The the other point we have dealt with when reading the text is energy as the foundation of the Algerian state. We try to give um, some some historical background to to that inseparable relationship between Algerian economy and hydrocarbons. Well, we have to go back a little bit to the colonial period. In the 1950s, discoveries of hydrocarbons in the Sahara were viewed through two different lenses. The French saw them as strategic colonial assets, while Algeria saw them as a stolen national wealth. These made energy deeply political even before independence was won. And after the independence, the post independence era, Typically, in 1962, hydrocarbons became the symbol of sovereignty. Um, um, and the sovereignty was maybe determined by a national company called Sonatrach, this state-owned company, which was not just a business; it was also a symbol of the state power. And in we have another date here, which is the 1971, which is the date of the oil nationalization. So by taking control of its oil and gas, Algeria used energy to assert its independence on the world stage. Again, the social contract of energy. The Algerian government uses energy revenues to maintain political legitimacy and stability through um, through the redistribution of these natural resources revenues. We find that oil and gas money funds vital infrastructure, education, and social programs. Even energy becomes not just a mere natural resource, but also as a right. So in Algeria, energy is often viewed as a social right rather than just a commodity, leading to heavy subsidies that keep energy cheap for the public. Of course, this state of being would lead to vital risks because the state that relies on these revenue to keep the peace, fluctuations in global oil prices can directly affect domestic political stability. So it's something really dangerous. The last point we deal with as a summary to the text dealt with um, previously, we have to understand the state of being would cause current challenges, especially in terms of inequality and transition. So the current energy model faces several pressures. We have first the regional inequalities. There is, in this case, there is a tension between the Sahara, where the energy is extracted, and the northern cities, where the political and power centers are located. We have another challenge, which is the future narrative due to the climate change and the growing population. Algeria, as we know, is shifting its narrative from extraction to transition. So is really Algeria ready for this transition? And we have another challenge, which is the renewable potential. The Sahara is no longer just a source of gas. It's now seen as a massive source of solar potential. Um, well, these are the main ideas tackled during the in-person reading. Now, to help you master these concepts, I'd like you to try this exercise. Try to use the keywords learned today to write